Hello folks, welcome back. In previous lectures, we have seen how we can identify commits on Git. In this lecture, we are going to explore about the GitHub and how can we identify commits and who has done the changes and also what changes are introduced in each commit. Let's go and check it out. So this is the GitHub repository which I am representing in our Git. So same repository I am taking, that is Ravd and Docker. So it is updated 6 days ago and total 29 commits are there. Let's go and see those commits. So these are the commits which are done on this repository, and also we could able to list out these commits with the git log command. Whatever commits we see in the git log command, same commits are appearing over here. And if you see, this is the latest commit, right? And SHA code, if you see, this is the first 7 digits. Okay, 17DC. So if I go to my Git and if I check for that, okay, I'm under Docker and git log, you can see it is also 77DC43D. Same thing you can see over here. So this is the latest commit. And if you want to see what are the changes you have introduced in this commit, we can check out with the git show command over here, right? Here I want to see what changes I have introduced. I can do the git show. Same way you can list out the changes what you have done on this commit by clicking on this one. Okay, so this tells what changes you have introduced in this commit. It is like a git show command showing one changed file, nothing but we have changed on only one file with 11 additions and 3 deletions. And you can see over here clearly minus and in which is in the red color represents that we have deleted this line, and what is green and plus symbol, it represents to that we have added these lines. Okay, which are there in the white color, which means that we don't change anything over here. This is how we can see the changes which we have done in that specific commit. Let me go back to the another commit. So code and again commits. So if we go to the previous commits, okay, I'm going with the commit which was done on August 21st. Okay, if I go and check it out over here, you can see what changes you have done. Again, you have changed only one file and there was a typo, and I have updated that typo. So this is how we can check our changes on the GitHub. So that is like a git show command. So there is no equivalent command for the git diff in the GitHub, because you just see the content what is there in the latest commit. It will give the fair knowledge that what changes you have done compared with the previous commit. Now you want to use the previous commit code, nothing but this is the commit I have done on September 7th. I would like to use this code, not the latest code which I have done. In the latest code, I have updated my Jenkins file, so I don't want that changes. If that is the case, I can just click over here. So what will happen? It will go to my previous version. It will go to my previous version, and I have updated Jenkins Docker file, right? So this was updated. You can see here, this is the previous one because this bin I have removed, and this one also I have removed, and I have set up the Jenkins installation steps. Okay, so that is how you can go back to the previous commit. If you see here, it is showing the previous commit ID. Usually it should showcase as a master. So master nothing but the latest commit, and if you see something like this, it means that you gone to the some of the previous commits. Okay, and by the way, same thing you can do from the git as well, that is by changing your git checkout. Okay, so git checkout and your commit ID, if you do, you are going to the previous commit. So git checkout and commit ID I am giving. Before giving this one, I will just display the file, that is this is what we have changed, and you can see it starts with the sent OS, but whereas if I go to previous one, it is starting with some other line. So git checkout. Okay, so we have switched, and cat, if I do Jenkins Docker file, you can see it is started with the from Jenkins latest. How we have switched in our GitHub. Okay, so in GitHub also we have switched. But if I want to go back to master, now you can see your latest commit. So master represents the latest commit. So this is how we can switch into other commit, but that we are going to talk in the separate lecture. So this is how we can see the changes. Now, how we have seen each line who has updated in a file by using git annotate command, same thing we can do from here as well. For that, I'm going inside to Docker volumes. Here we have one file. Yeah, Docker volumes.md. I'm taking this file. Okay, so now I would like to know who has done changes to each line of this code. Then we can go with the option called blame. Whenever we go with the blame, it will tell you that each line of code in this particular file who has modified. You can see here, this is the commit ID, updated Docker volume, and there was a one addition and one deletion of a line. Okay, so in this commit, and this was done in that commit. Okay, if you see this number means there are a previous changes to the same line, nothing but other people are, I might be updated the same line multiple times, then only you will see this. If you don't see this kind of box over here, which means that we haven't changed this line, only we have updated once, that is while creating this file, only once we have updated. After that there is no change to this particular line. Okay, and this was updated with this commit. Like this, there are different commits, and this is the guy who has committed, that is Revdi. Okay, so Revdi has been updated the same file multiple times, and there are multiple commits on this file. So this is how we can check who has done the changes and what is the commit ID when he has updated this file. Now I would like to see what was there previous to this one. Then I can just click over here. So you can see earlier it was Docker volumes was there. From Docker volumes to I have updated to manage data in Docker, that I have done. So this was the initial line. So this line I have updated with the latest data, that is manage data in Docker. Okay, I just clicked on the back button to go back to the previous. So this is how you can do, and you want to see what and all other changes I have introduced with this one. Then you can just click on this commit. It takes to the our commit. You can see here clearly, you can understand there was a two changes, one addition and one deletion. So we have deleted Docker volumes and added manage Docker in the Docker. Nothing but we have done only one change with that commit. That is also we just updated this line. So this is how we can identify who has done the changes to the file by using GitHub as well. This is equivalent to the git annotate command. So that's all for this lecture. In next lecture, we are going to see how can we commit changes on GitHub. So far we are committing changes from the Git, right? Now we are going to do with the GitHub. Whenever I say Git, it means that from our local system, GitHub nothing but on the browser.